Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another lesson with us here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and that's us.
And that's us. And today we're going to talk about a very common situation when you're a couple, when you have a girlfriend.
Honey, come on. I want to go.
Are you?
You're taking forever.
All right. Who takes long? Like, do you take a long time to get ready, to get dressed?
Okay. I take longer to get ready, but my boyfriend takes longer in general because he's like checking his email, playing video games, like just, we call it lollygagging. He's just like being kind of slow.
I'm the opposite. I usually start getting ready later. Like if we have to leave at 9, I'll start getting ready at 8:30, but I'll be ready by 9 because I take a shower real fast, get dressed, and I know what I'm going to wear and all my clothes are ready. But on the other hand, my girlfriend takes forever to get ready, and she's like, oh, and then, the hair.
Girls have makeup and tights and
But this is what I understand. If we're supposed to leave at 9, why don't you start getting ready before?
Never underestimate women. I don't know.
Procrastination.
Hey, it's not even about procrastination. Sometimes it just takes longer to look good than other times.
Right. Well, in this case, we're going to be looking at a lesson where it's the opposite. The husband is taking a long time to get ready, and, well, I don't think he has a very good fashion sense, right?
He does not. And we're going to learn what that phrase means in a minute here. But before we get going, we've got a couple of words to preview to help you understand what's going on in today's dialogue.
Vocabulary preview.
All right, so vocabulary preview today we have 2 words. The first one can be a noun or a verb. To iron.
Or iron.
Huh. So to iron basically means to
get the wrinkles out of clothes. And so we use this. Iron is actually a metal. It's a very important metal. And an iron is a machine that we plug in. We use it to get the wrinkles, the lines out of our shirts and our skirts and everything. And so it's actually a very important thing to make sure that you look nice and put together.
Right. So you use an iron to iron your shirt or to iron your skirt. And then we have sandals. My favorite type of shoe.
Mine too.
Sandals.
I have a friend who used to say she had claustrophobic feet. Her feet didn't like to be in closed spaces, and so she only wore sandals.
So these are open shoes, open toe shoes, basically. You wear them at the beach.
Or you wear them in the summer in general. I'm wearing sandals right now.
And you have different types of sandals, like sandals and flip-flops, right?
Flip-flops, I think they're called that because they sound like flip-flop, flip-flop.
When you walk. All right, so those are our 2 words today. Let's listen to the dialogue for the first time, and then we'll be back.
Honey, come on. We're going to be late. Honestly, you take longer getting ready than I do.
I was drying my hair and ironing my shirt. Can you come here for a sec? I need your help.
What is it? Why are all these clothes on the bed?
I don't know what to wear. Okay, give me your opinion. Do you like the way this looks? The striped short-sleeve shirt with this checkered sweater and my lucky sandals. I like the cut and hemline of these shorts, so I think I'll wear these as well.
Are you joking? What am I going to do with you? We're going to a dinner party, not to the beach. Wear the shirt with the silk tie I bought you and those corduroy pants. It's chilly outside, so you can wear this coat.
Thanks, honey. You have such great fashion sense. Now, what am I going to do with my hair?
All right, we're back. So interesting, this husband sounded a lot like a famous president, I think.
He did, but we'll get to that in a minute. Before we do talk about who this guy is, I think it'd be a great idea to talk about some of these clothing terms because they're very useful for when you want to go shopping and for when you're getting dressed.
Language takeaway.
Okay, so the first word that we have on language takeaway is striped.
All right, you might have heard the American flag called Stars and Stripes. Stripes are those lines on clothing or on flags that go up or down or left and right.
Exactly. So if you have a striped shirt, you have many lines on your shirt that are going up and down or left and right.
Right. And they say with fashion, lines that go left to right make you look fatter, and lines that go up and down make you look thinner.
And taller.
And taller.
Very good. And now moving on, if it's summer and you want to wear a shirt, you can wear a short-sleeved shirt.
All right, this is important. So most people like to wear short sleeve shirts in the summertime because they're cooler. And in the wintertime, that means we like to wear long sleeved shirts.
Okay, so the sleeves are basically the arms of the shirt.
Exactly.
So you say short sleeved. Oh, very good. And then we have a checkered shirt or a checkered sweater in this case.
Okay, so checkered means there are little squares on the shirt, and usually one square is one color and the next square is another color. So it looks like a checkerboard.
Very
That
good.
game, checkers?
Or like a chessboard.
Exactly. And so in this case, we've got a guy who's trying to wear a striped shirt and a checkered sweater.
That does not go well together, right?
No. Too much stuff happening.
It's too busy.
Too busy.
All right. And not only that, but he wanted to wear shorts because he liked the cut and the hemline.
Okay, these are actually terms that we normally use with women's clothing because you could say, I like the cut of this dress. I like the shape that it has.
Very good.
And hemline is the bottom of your skirt or your trousers or your shorts. And hemline, we could say, my mother used to say this to me, the hemline is much too high, much too short. That skirt is not appropriate. Yeah, so it's nice to have a hemline at the knee.
All right, so the cut is the shape that the piece of clothing has, like pants or skirts, and the hemline would be the place where it ends, right? The skirt, for example.
Like it pretty much tells you the length of something.
Very good. And now the wife steps in. She's like, no, you're not wearing this. She's telling him that she has to wear nice clothes, and among those items is a silk tie.
Okay, so classic Father's Day gift.
Silk tie.
I've given this one a couple of times. A silk tie is a necktie, a long necktie that's made of silk.
Silk is a very soft material, right? Very expensive as well.
It can be, especially Italian silk.
And I've always actually wanted to have silk sheets.
Ooh, see, I don't know. I feel like they would get very warm in the summer.
Yeah, well, in the winter it would be awesome, but probably very cold in the winter as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, it's one of those things. And then she's also telling him to wear some corduroy pants.
Okay, so it sounds like this might be a winter dialogue because corduroy is not something you wear in the summer because it's very heavy and thick. Corduroy actually is a fabric that usually has these kind of ribs or ridges, and so there's like little lines in the fabric that make it quite thick and rough when you almost not rough, but they make it feel very unique when you touch it.
Yeah, it's not smooth. It's a little bit rough, the fabric. Very good. So those are all the clothing items that we've looked at today. There's a lot of them, and obviously we'll post a couple of pictures on the site so you can see better what a silk tie looks like, or especially corduroy pants.
Corduroy, yeah.
All right, so let's listen to this dialogue again. We're going to slow it down a little bit, and then we'll come back and look at some of the phrases.
Honey, come on. We're going to be late. Honestly, you take longer getting ready than I do.
I was drying my hair and ironing my shirt. Can you come here for a sec? I need your help.
What is it? Why are all these clothes on the bed?
I don't know what to wear. Okay, give me your opinion. Do you like the way this looks? The striped short sleeve shirt with this checkered sweater and my lucky sandals. I like the cut and hemline of these shorts, so I think I'll wear these as well.
Are you joking? What am I going to do with you? We are going to a dinner party, not to the beach. Wear the shirt with the silk tie I bought you and those corduroy pants. It's chilly outside, so you can wear this coat.
Thanks, honey. You have such great fashion sense. Now, what am I going to do with my hair?
All right, we're back. So now let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, these are classic couple phrases, right? These are phrases you hear among couples. And the first one is maybe more common to hear from the female end, but it's not unknown on the male end. So we have this question. Do you like the way this looks?
So while the person is saying this, they would maybe like be moving to the side a little bit, like
modeling it.
Do you like the way this looks? So basically you're saying, do you like what I'm wearing? Does it look good on me?
Does it look good? Exactly. You could also say, hey, I like the way this looks when you're trying to buy something at the store. And so, do you like the way this looks is a way for you to ask the other person's opinion of how you look.
And also another common phrase, especially with men who have no fashion sense, the wife says, "What am I going to do with you?"
Okay, this is an interesting phrase and it needs some explanation, I think, because the meaning is, well, this is very difficult, right? So you're being difficult, or wow, you need some help from me. I'm going to help you.
How am I going to help you this much or all the time like this?
Right, because she's pretty much saying he has no idea about clothing and fashion. So he's saying to her, she's saying to him, what am I going to do with you? Means you need so much help.
Seriously. All right. So, and the third phrase that we saw and we said at the very beginning is fashion sense.
Okay, so this is actually what the man needs help with.
Fashion sense.
He needs help with his fashion sense because he has zero fashion sense.
Right.
And this is pretty much a way to say how much someone knows about fashion or appearances. And so I can say, my friend Kathy, she has amazing fashion sense. So she
maybe,
always looks good.
Right. So combining colors appropriately or wearing the right types of shoes with the right types of clothing, etc. Fashion sense.
Or even just being able to wear things that are good on her or telling other people what's good on them. So fashion sense is the ability to identify fashion and look good and make other people look good.
All right. Very good. Let's listen to this dialogue for the very last time, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about fashion because it's a very interesting topic.
It is.
Honey, come on. We're going to be late. Honestly, you take longer getting ready than I do.
I was drying my hair and ironing my shirt. Can you come here for a sec? I need your help.
What is it? Why are all these clothes on the bed?
I don't know what to wear. Okay, give me your opinion. Do you like the way this looks? The striped short-sleeve shirt with this checkered sweater and my lucky sandals. I like the cut and hemline of these shorts, so I think I'll wear these as well.
Are you joking? What am I going to do with you? We're going to a dinner party, not to the beach. Wear the shirt with the silk tie I bought you and those corduroy pants. It's chilly outside, so you can wear this coat.
Thanks, honey. You have such great fashion sense. Now, what am I going to do with my hair?
All right, we're back. You lived in Italy for a while. How is the fashion over there? Is it extreme like we see on the runways? Because I honestly don't understand fashion.
Well, the thing about runways is that that's not how normal people dress.
Well, yeah, that's what I don't understand. Why do they have these fashion shows if people don't really buy these types of clothing?
Well, sometimes people, like stores, for example, big stores, department stores, will buy fashions off of the runway, and they'll kind of change them a little bit so that they're more appropriate for normal consumption. That means for normal people who want to wear them. But the runway fashions are actually, they're kind of like exaggerations of trends that will happen in the shopping world, right? In the commercial world. So the things that you see are like big blown up exaggerations, and we take bits and pieces of those in our daily lives to dress up. So different colors or fabrics, or like oftentimes you see kind of military outfits. And so that will translate into military jackets that are very popular one season. And so Italy definitely counts as a very fashionable country, but it's not crazy. People, every once in a while you see someone with crazy clothes, but I think Japan is much more crazy as far as style.
Actually, Asian countries such as Japan or South Korea, they have very also unique fashion as well, but it's very extreme to a certain point. And the color combinations they do is like red sneakers with green pants and like a blue jacket. It's very crazy.
Bright.
And very bright.
And you often see these shoes, we call them platform shoes. It's kind of like you're standing on a brick or on a book.
Huge.
And they're 7 inches tall. And you see these little girls wearing these big shoes, and I'm so scared when I see them because I feel like they're going to fall over.
The other thing is that fashion is so expensive. If you actually want to buy something that's in like an authentic, Carolina Herrera or Oscar de la Renta or something like that, it's so expensive.
It is, but high fashion is expensive.
Yeah.
Fashion is not. It doesn't have to be. You can be fashionable just looking at different stores and going to secondhand shops and making your own clothes. I mean, it's all about a sense of personal style and dressing yourself to be unique.
Or you can get it at the fake market.
Or you can go to the fake market. Exactly.
All right. That's all the time we have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please come to our website and comment at englishpod.com. And if you have any other suggestions or maybe your own pictures of crazy fashion, you can post. We're glad to see them. So we'll see you guys there.
Yeah, as Marco said, hope to see you on the website. That's about it for today. So
right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Casual tennis shoes.
Sneakers.
Having stripes or bands of color.
Striped.
A pattern with alternating squares.
Checkered.
A fabric pattern with many circles.
Polka dot.
A type of footwear with open toes.
Sandal.
A type of fabric used to make jeans.
Denim.
The shape and style of a piece of clothing.
Cut.
Used to describe something that is no longer popular.
Out of fashion.
The line formed by the lower edge of clothing.
Hemline.
A person who makes clothes, adjusts the fit.
Tailor.
An event where you eat at a friend's house.
Dinner party.
A ribbed cotton clothing material.
Corduroy.
An idea for what clothing looks good.
Fashion sense.
Let's try that faster. A type of fabric used to make jeans.
Denim.
A type of footwear with open toes.
Sandal.
A ribbed cotton clothing material.
Corduroy.
A person who makes clothes, adjusts the fit.
Tailor.
Used to describe something that is no longer popular.
Out of fashion.
Having stripes or bands of color.
Striped.
An idea for what clothing looks good.
Fashion sense.
The line formed by the lower edge of clothing.
Hemline.
The shape and style of a piece of clothing.
Cut.
A pattern with alternating squares.
Checkered.
An event where you eat at a friend's house.
Dinner party.
A fabric pattern with many circles.
Polka dot.
Casual tennis shoes.
Sneakers.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Striped. The zebra has strong black and white striping for confusing predators. Striped. It is never a good idea to wear a striped shirt with checkered pants. Striped. Uncle Joe took me down to the pond to fish for striped bass. Checkered. A black and white checkered flag is often used to signal the end of a race. Checkered. Chess is always played on a checkered board. Checkered. We were all unaware of the man's checkered past. Nobody knew he just got out of jail. Cut. The cut of men's suits has changed considerably over the years. Cut. She was not pleased with the cut of her wedding dress, so now it must be redone. Cut. Michael is such a dependable employee. They really like the cut of his jib. Dinner party. Another dinner party? Why can't we ever eat at home with our own family? Dinner party. It is always a good idea to bring a bottle of wine or a dessert when attending a dinner party. Dinner party. James made a fool of himself at the dinner party when he tried to show off his new magic tricks. Fashion sense. You have no fashion sense whatsoever. Just look at what you are wearing. Fashion sense. Fashion sense is not something you can learn by imitating others. You either have it or you don't. Fashion sense. Trendy styles and fads should not influence your sense of fashion.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another edition here with us at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we are doing the third part of our Old English series. And today we're transported back to the 1970s.
That's right. So we're going to learn some 1970s slang, some phrases that were really popular back in the 70s, but are also still in use today.
Exactly. So it's going to be a very cool lesson today. And before we start with the dialogue, let's take a look at some of the words that we're going to find in Vocabulary Preview.
Vocabulary Preview.
Well, we have two words for you in Vocabulary Preview, and they're both found in the dialogue. The first one, roller rink.
A roller rink.
A roller rink.
Okay, so a roller rink. Let's break that down and let's look at the first part.
All right, so roller. We might recognize this from roller blades or roller skates.
Okay, so yeah, when you go rollerblading, roller skating, those things that you put on your feet to skate.
Right, wheels, not like a blade or a knife.
Exactly. So that's roller. And what about rink?
Rink is the place where you do skating.
Okay, so if you go to a roller rink, it's this big area where everyone can rollerblade or roller skate.
That's right.
Okay. And what about the next word?
A block.
block.
A block.
Okay, so this is a noun, a block.
And a block is a part of a city that is surrounded by 4 streets.
Okay, so a city is made up of many blocks.
Yep.
And everyone lives on a block.
Exactly. So it's a square within the city.
All right, very good. So these are the 2 words that we previewed, and we're going to listen to them now in the dialogue. We're going to hear 2 guys just talking about normal, everyday things, but we're going to be listening to them in 1970.
Hey man, how's it hanging?
Hey man, everything is just groovy, baby.
Did you go to the roller rink on Saturday? I heard it was far out, man.
I wanted to, but I ran into this foxy lady that just moved to my block. I was chatting her up a bit, and then we mellowed out at her place.
Right on. Well, Jim went to the rink with Sherry, and he said it was dynamite. He was low on bread, but Sherry paid for everything.
Gravy! Jim is such a jive turkey, man. He's always hitting me up for cash. Anyway, you want to book and go grab some grub?
Yeah, man, I'm starving.
Okay, groovy dialogue.
Yeah, really nice, huh?
All right, so some interesting language in here. And like we said, it sounds a bit strange, but a lot of this is still used today in modern English. So why don't we look at some of these words in language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, we have the first word, far out.
Far out.
That was far out.
To be far out.
Okay, so it's just another way of saying
Cool.
cool. That
Yep.
was nice.
Yep.
It was really cool. So they went to the roller rink. It was far out. It was really cool. But the other guy couldn't go because he saw a foxy lady.
A foxy lady.
Okay, foxy lady.
So basically, a foxy lady is a really good looking or sexy woman.
Right. Commonly, you would hear some men refer to a attractive woman as a fox.
Okay, so foxy lady. Now,
Okay.
Marco, can we say a foxy man?
No, this is a phrase that you would only use for women.
Okay, so foxy lady.
Foxy lady.
So after he met up with the foxy lady, they both just decided to mellow out at her place.
To mellow out.
To mellow out.
Okay, so mellow out. What does this mean exactly?
Basically, just to relax.
Right, so to relax, to take it easy. To mellow out.
So what did you do on the weekend?
Oh, nothing. I just stayed at home and mellowed out.
Okay. All right, and so the response to that was...
Right on.
Right on, right on.
Right on, right on.
And so basically they're saying, okay, good, I agree.
Yeah, this phrase, you can say as good, yeah, that's nice, or you can also say it as, well, correct, I agree. So why don't we listen to some examples of how we can use this word in other situations?
Example 1.
Right on. You got a high score. That's amazing.
Example 2.
You got the job? Right on.
Example 3.
Jenny was right when she told me she thought Rick was no good for me. I should have listened to her.
Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. We can see how it means correct or also, okay, good.
All right, right on. And now we also have another word that's similar to far out. He said gravy.
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 Now, if you look it up in a dictionary, it's going to tell you something else, right?
Gravy is a sauce you put on meat.
Right. But in this case, we say gravy is cool. It's nice.
Yep.
All right, so gravy.
That was gravy. Now, finally, at the end of their conversation, they said, wanna book.
Okay, let's book.
Book.
So, to book as a verb.
Yeah, interesting verb. It basically means to leave a place quickly.
Okay, so we have to book. The police are coming.
Right. Or, I gotta book, guys, I'm late.
So book, to leave quickly, to leave suddenly.
Yep, and that word is used quite commonly today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's used among like younger people. You would say, yeah, let's book. This party is dead.
Okay, great. So there's a lot of pretty cool phrases in this dialogue, pretty groovy phrases.
Yeah.
Why don't we hear them again in context?
Hey man, how's it hanging?
Hey. Everything is just groovy, baby.
Did you go to the roller rink on Saturday? I heard it was far out, man.
I wanted to, but I ran into this foxy lady that just moved to my block. I was chatting her up a bit, and then we mellowed out at her place.
Right on, right on. Well, Jim went to the rink with Sherry, and he said it was dynamite. He was low on bread, but Sherry paid for everything.
Gravy. Jim is such a jive turkey, man. He's always hitting me up for cash. Anyway, you want to book and go grab some grub?
Yeah, man, I'm starving.
All right, so now that we understand these 6 words that we saw in Language Takeaway, it's time for us now to take a look at some great phrases that we can use today in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so at the start of the conversation, there was an interesting way he started talking to his friend, right?
All right, he said, how's it hanging?
How's it hanging?
How's it hanging?
Okay, so basically, how is it going?
How's it going? How are you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you notice in the spelling that we do have a G at the end, ing, right?
Yeah, but usually you don't really pronounce the G in this context because it's very informal. So, how's it hanging?
How's it hanging? So he said everything was just groovy, and then he started telling him about how he met a girl and he chat her up a bit.
To chat her up.
Okay, so to chat somebody up.
So when you chat someone up, you talk with them, right?
Yeah, you're making conversation.
But it's more than just conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, you're trying to be a little bit flirty and maybe saying nice romantic phrases or something like that.
Yeah, so usually it's between a woman and a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the man who chats up the woman.
Yeah, exactly.
So a little bit of a sexist phrase here.
To chat someone up or to chat up a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was chatting her up.
That's right. And so they were talking about how Jim went to the roller rink, but he didn't have any money, right? Because Jim is always hitting his friends up for cash.
Okay, so to hit someone up.
To hit someone up.
So before we explain this word, let's listen to some other examples so then we can maybe understand the meaning.
Example 1.
Can you believe Patrick? He came up to me a month ago and tried to hit me up for some money.
Example 2.
When I was a kid, I used to always hit my dad up for lunch money.
Example 3.
This is the last time I lend you money. Don't even try to hit me up for more.
All right, so when you hit someone up for something, you ask for it.
So usually it's to ask for money, right?
That's right.
Okay, so to hit someone up. And now for our last phrase. Let's book and let's go grab some grub.
To grab some grub.
Grab some grub.
Okay, let's break this one down. With the final word, grub, what are we talking about?
Grub is an informal way of saying food.
Okay, so to grab some grub is to get some food quickly.
Yeah, let's go get some food.
All right, so maybe it's time for us to grab some grub. And while we're doing that, you can listen to the dialogue one last time.
Hey, man, how's it hanging?
Hey, man, everything is just groovy, baby.
Did you go to the roller rink on Saturday? I heard it was far out, man.
I wanted to, but I ran into this foxy lady that just moved to my block. I was chatting her up a bit, and then we mellowed out at her place.
Right on, right on. Well, Jim went to the rink with Sherry, and he said it was dynamite. He was low on bread, but Sherry paid for everything.
Gravy! Jim is such a jive turkey, man. He's always hitting me up for cash. Anyway, you want to book and go grab some grub?
Yeah, man, I'm starving.
All right, so some interesting phrases, and even though some of these words you may not really commonly hear anymore, they might still be used in movies or something that's related to the disco era because it's very, very popular still, right?
Yeah, that's right. Some of our more advanced users could even use a lot of these phrases in a kind of funny way to reference back to 1970.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun, and, well, you will use them or you will hear them from time to time, even today.
And remember, if you have any questions about the language you hear in these lessons, check out our website at englishpod.com.
Exactly. We're there to answer any questions, and we'll see you guys there.
Thanks for listening, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Popular dance music, especially of the late 1970s.
Disco.
House.
Crib.
A performance, especially by a band.
Gig.
Used to say that something makes sense.
Right on.
An authority figure, like the boss or government.
The man.
A negative situation.
Bummer.
How's it going? How are you?
How is it hanging?
Cool, excellent, enjoyable.
Groovy.
An enclosed place for roller skating.
Roller rink.
The latest, cool.
Far out.
Sexy, attractive.
Foxy.
Part of a neighborhood surrounded by 4 streets.
Block.
Talk informally to a person you're attracted to.
Chat someone up.
Relax.
Mellow out.
Money, informal and old-fashioned.
Bread.
All right, cool.
Gravy.
A person who is unreliable or irresponsible.
Jive turkey.
Ask someone for money.
Hit someone up for.
Leave quickly.
Book.
Food, informal.
Grub.
Let's try that faster.
A person who is unreliable or irresponsible.
Jive turkey.
Used to say that something makes sense.
Right on.
Food, informal.
Grub.
Popular dance music, especially of the late 1970s.
Disco.
Part of a neighborhood surrounded by 4 streets.
Block.
An authority figure, like the boss or government.
The man.
A negative situation.
Bummer.
Leave quickly.
Book.
Money, informal and old-fashioned.
Bread.
A performance, especially by a band.
Gig.
An enclosed place for roller skating.
Roller rink.
The latest, cool.
Far out.
Sexy, attractive.
Foxy.
House.
Crib.
Talk informally to a person you're attracted to.
Chat someone up.
Ask someone for money.
Hit someone up for.
Cool, excellent, enjoyable.
Groovy.
Relax.
Mellow out.
All right, cool.
Gravy.
How's it going? How are you?
How is it hanging?
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Groovy. Where did you buy that groovy shirt? I really like it. Groovy. The party at Paul's house last night was groovy. Groovy. James has a groovy new motorcycle and he said he would let me ride it. Far out. I went to the cinema and saw the new Star Trek movie. It was far out. Far out. You got a job at Morgan Stanley? That's far out, man. Congratulations. Far out. Did you see how fast that car went? That was far out. Mellow out. I don't feel like going out tonight. I think I would just mellow out here at home. Mellow out. Chopin really mellows me out when I'm feeling tense. Mellow out. After final exams, let's go down to the beach and mellow out. Right on. Right on. You got a high score, that's amazing. Right on. You got the job? Right on. Right on. Jenny was right on when she told me she thought Rick was no good for me. I should have listened to her. Book. This party is really boring. Let's book and go to another bar. Book. The police arrived and started arresting people, so my friend and I booked as fast as we could. Book. Dan saw his ex-girlfriend at the restaurant and started to get nervous and ended up booking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. So, Marco, today we're talking about rent and housing.
Right. We're actually going to be moving. We're going to be going to a new apartment or a new house. And so we're going to look at all the words related to this because sometimes it can be a real hassle, right? It can be really difficult.
Absolutely. Well, you love moving, right? You were telling me how much you love moving your stuff and negotiating a new lease.
Well, I like the negotiation of the lease, but not the moving aspect.
I don't think anyone likes moving.
Actually, I do like it at times because then you can just throw away so many things that you have no need for and you wouldn't throw away unless you moved.
So let's go check out today's dialogue to find out what happens to the characters.
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm gonna have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, we're back. So, well, it's not much of a big deal. I guess if you have your parents nearby, you can just move back in with your parents.
Easier said than done.
True. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's take a look at the words that are used today in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so this first one is an important one because generally when you're looking for a house or an apartment, there are two things you can do. You can buy a house or you can lease a house or apartment. Mm-hmm. So lease here, Marco.
It's basically to rent, right? Mm-hmm. It's a contract where you agree to pay a monthly or a quarterly fee for using that house or apartment.
So do you own your apartment or do you lease it?
No, mine, I lease.
Yeah,
I am
I do
not a
too.
homeowner yet.
Right. So owning a home is a lot more expensive at one kind of period where you have to just pay in and you have
Right.
maybe a mortgage. But leasing is just a monthly fee, like you said.
So in this case, they had to leave because their lease was expired.
Exactly. So you can, at the end of a lease, do one of two things. You can stop and you can find a new apartment, or you can renew your lease.
All right, and that's our next word. To renew your lease basically means to
continue.
To continue.
And this is actually a good word because it can be used with any contract, because really a lease is a kind of contract. And so I can say, I renewed my job contract.
Or maybe a magazine subscription.
Yeah,
You
so-
renewed your magazine subscription.
It's a way of saying that you've committed to paying for the next 6 months or 1 year.
Okay. Well, and after that, as we said, the person decided to move in with the parents. So move in.
Move in, well, we can say he moved his car. He put it in a different place. But to move in is actually to change houses or to change apartments. And you're literally moving your things in, you're moving your clothes in, you're moving into a new home. So you're living in a new place.
So in this case, this person is going to live with the parents. Move in. All right. And our next word is when you have to move, you have to pack.
Okay, so you can pack a lot of things. In this case, you're packing a box with all of your belongings, your books and your pillows and all that. But you can also pack a suitcase, or you can pack luggage. So packing is putting things into something so that you can move them.
So you can carry them or take them somewhere.
Exactly.
So in this case, you have to pack your things, put them in boxes to take them to your new home. And our last word is an acronym when you said ASAP.
All right, snap. Come on, ASAP, Marco.
ASAP.
Describe this for us quickly.
All right. So ASAP is an acronym for as soon as possible.
Okay, so you often see this in the office on envelopes or emails.
Right.
So please respond ASAP, ASAP. This means please respond right away.
As soon as you can, as soon as possible. All right, so 5 great words that we've just taken a look at. Let's listen to our dialogue again, and we'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm gonna have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, we're back, and we have a couple of different phrases for you. So let's look at those now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Our first one's a little bit unusual. We heard the phrase, my lease is up. So, Marco, let's talk about this phrase, to be up.
All right, so if something is up, as in this case, the lease, it means it's expired, it's finished, right?
So it's over.
It's over.
You can also say, our time is up.
Right.
If we have a meeting. So that's all the time I have. Time to go away.
Time is up. Very good. So it's always related to time or maybe a contract, as in this case, or your lease is up.
So it means over or finished.
All right, so moving on to our second phrase.
To make way for. All right, so this is a great one. This often makes me think of kings and queens in the old days. They say, make way for the king. So you have to
Get out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way, or to clear some space for them to move because there's too much stuff in the way. And so in this case, the owner of the apartment where the guy was living in is trying to make some space or make way for a parking lot.
Right, so he's basically going to sell the building or house and build a parking lot instead. So they are making way for the new parking lot.
They're clearing space. And this is actually really sad because my childhood home, they destroyed to make way for a larger, ugly, big
Building?
house. Yeah.
Really? See, it happens all the time. Now they're making way for malls and big buildings, and all of our little houses are destroyed. And, well, moving on to our last phrase, the person asked the friend if he would mind looking after the pet snake and tarantula.
I would mind.
You don't like snakes or tarantulas?
Well, I don't mind them as long as I don't live with them.
So would you mind this is a nice way to start a sentence if you want to ask for a favor, right?
Exactly. So here's an alternative. Hey, Marco, can you do this for me?
I could, maybe.
I could say, Marco, would you mind doing this for me?
It's more polite.
It is more polite and it's a little bit gentler. Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a nice way of asking someone for a favor.
Exactly. And that's why this is funny, because the favor is not like, would you mind watching my kitty? The favor is, would you mind watching my poisonous pets?
Right. All right. So would you mind it? But in the end, the person agreed. So it works, right?
It does work. So would you mind, so listeners, would you mind listening to today's dialogue one more time at its normal speed before we come back to you and talk more about renting an apartment?
Okay, that's fine. Bye.
What happened?
That's it. My lease is up. I have to move.
What? Why? Can't you renew it?
The owner apparently is selling this place to make way for the construction of a parking lot.
Well, I can help you pack. We should start looking for a new place for you ASAP.
I think I might move in with my parents for a couple of months until I can find something. You know how hard it is to find a decent place around here. I'm gonna have to put most of my stuff in storage for a while.
Well, let me know if there's anything I can do to help out.
Actually, would you mind looking after my pet tarantula and snake for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
All right, so moving in now, you have different stages in your life, right? When you move out, for example, you move out of your parents' home and you live on your own. And then maybe, like in this case, you would move back in with your parents. How do you see that happening?
I see it very often. My brother just moved back in with my parents.
Really?
Yeah, I think that it depends on the person, honestly. I mean, especially because the economy has really been suffering for the last year. A lot of people are doing this because, you know, in a lot of cities in America, you can spend $1,000 to $2,000 a month for an apartment to rent.
Right.
And that's a small apartment or a shared apartment. And so I understand this is it's a better option now than it was before because everyone wants independence.
Right.
But sometimes you just can't afford it.
Exactly. And it's a cultural thing because some people move out of their parents' home maybe for college. It's very common in the U.S. to study in another city or another state, right? And but then maybe coming back home and moving in with your parents. Or in other cultures, maybe they don't move out at all. Maybe they only move out once they're married.
Exactly. So a lot of people in China, I think in Shanghai specifically, don't move out of their parents' home until they're going to get married.
Right. Well, it does make sense in many big metropolis because, as you say, rent is expensive. Living on your own is expensive. And, well, you don't have anyone to share those costs with, like gas, water, electricity, even food, right? It's cheaper among more people.
And not to mention a little bit scary living on your own for the first time.
It is a little bit scary. What about having somebody move in with you? Maybe a roommate or a girlfriend or boyfriend?
Ooh, that's always the big step.
The big commitment.
The big commitment. You're in a relationship and you ask your partner to move in with you. It's the step before marriage, I guess.
Wow. There's nothing before that? Nothing before marriage?
No.
That's pretty much it.
You tell me. I don't know.
All right. That's all the time we have for today. But be sure to come to our website, EnglishPod.com. If you have any questions or any comments about this topic, we would be glad to have your input on it. And we'll see you guys there.
And if you have any suggestions for the step before marriage, please let us know because we're in the dark on this one. So until next time.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A contract granting use of property. Lease. To cause something to continue to be effective. Renew. Wrap up. Pack. To put articles in a case or container for moving.
Pack.
A building or an area.
Place.
A space for storing goods.
Storage.
Take care of.
Look after.
To create space for something else.
Make way for.
As soon as possible.
ASAP.
Good.
Decent.
Take care of.
Look after.
Let's try that faster. Wrap up.
Pack.
Good.
Decent.
As soon as possible.
ASAP.
A contract granting use of property.
Lease.
Take care of.
Look after.
To put articles in a case or container for moving.
Pack.
To create space for something else.
Make way for.
Take care of.
Look after.
To cause something to continue to be effective.
Renew.
A building or an area.
Place.
A space for storing goods.
Storage.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Lease. We are only leasing the apartment for 1 year. Lease. I didn't buy the car. It's a lease vehicle. Lease. According to your lease, you'll have to pay a fine for destruction of property. Make way for. Make way for the king. Make way for. We'd better make way for that ambulance. Make way for. The company reduced its stock to make way for the new products. ASAP. I want you to clean up this mess ASAP. ASAP. Get back to me ASAP about the details of the deal. ASAP. If we don't finish this project ASAP, we could be fired. Decent. The city government was full of decent, hard-working people. Decent. The car is decent enough. It gets me from point A to point B. Decent. This is a matter of common decency. You should really apologize for your behavior. Look after. We're looking after my friend's dog this week. Look after. Can you look after my daughter while I'm away? Look after.
I put Mary in charge of looking after the Jones account.